So this is my type of video, a big love-in where we heap praise on people. More of this, please. Positive Pete's for life. I am so pumped, in fact, let's just get into it, so settle in, grab a drink, and let's celebrate the 10 wrestlers that nobody hated. Number 10, Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe has been around for ages. In that time, he has constructed a Hall of Fame career, and there were hints of this all the way back in 2005. Just go and watch the years around that period with Joe. The man was on fire. Not literally. He's also adapted over time because he fitted in effortlessly during his NXT and WWE runs before heading to AEW and finding himself in the main event. But of course, you can't deny Samoa. I didn't even mention what he did down in Ring of Honor, where he basically rewrote the rules, and the whole time he has carried himself with this aura of a killer. You totally believe everything he does. This is why you think at some point somebody would have been like, ugh, that guy, or he would have had some beef. But no. Not really. Even when he had backstage incidences like he did with Kevin Nash over a Scott Hall situation in TNA, it ended with Big Sexy saying how cool Joe was. Because yeah, the truth is, everybody loves Samoa Joe. When the time is right, he shall be inducted into all the Hall of Fames too. Even then, his peers will be super happy for him. What a flippin' dude. Number 9, Kentabashi. Even the 4 pillars of All Japan Pro Wrestling got it at some point. Even though Mitsuru Masara was arguably the best of his bunch, his stoic ways drew criticism from some people, and there were similar fingers pointed at Akira Taue and Toshiaki Kawada. You can debate these, but what you can't is that Kenta Kobashi was universally beloved. One of the best baby faces ever. If you want to see top tier wrestling selling in action, all you gotta do is go and watch one of his matches. If he ever had to work a storyline injury, my gosh, you actually thought he was on the cusp of dying. Why is nobody helping him? It meant we have a rare occasion of looking at a wrestler for their in-ring work and barely hearing a peep of negativity. Yep, you all just came together and decided as a worker, this man was perfection. You know what? I think we may be right. Number 8, Gunther. I mean, you know Gunther is beloved because the main controversy regarding him was that we once changed his name. We all missed Walter at first, but now, who cares? Coincidentally, somebody described him as the reverse of Kenta Kobashi the other day. And yeah, I get it. Whereas Kenta was just the king at sympathy, Gunther does the opposite. He pulverizes people so much, even if you respect him, it gets you to buy in. He did this on the indie scene too, where he really did become the end-of-level boss for some. So when Triple H got his hands on him, he kept it simple. Let's just do that again, but on a bigger stage. It has seen Gunther become one of these dudes that the fans love because he's so damn talented at what he does, but seemingly his co-workers feel the same. Never hear a peep about him, unless it's to underline that he is a professional. It doesn't hurt he racks up Match of the Year candidates all the time either. That is a good way to get in people's happy books. Number 7, Bianca Belair. You know why people say Bianca Belair is the best good guy WWE has? Because you can't help but like her. Can't be taught. It's also a big tick box that she's just so damn happy all the time, as that translates through the TV. Plus, when she has to enter kick-ass mode, she can. The only criticism she has faced is when she was the champion and fans didn't think that WWE had enough legitimate challenges for her. That meant we kind of jumped all over the place, but that's nothing to do with Belair. That's the company. She just does what she's told. Bianca is also ready-made for the biggest of shows, as we have seen over time. And that WrestleMania match with Sasha Banks, well, it will get you, as did her clash with Becky Lynch. She should sell stocks because she's gonna get you invested. I'm gonna wrap this up with some more hyperbole, but I think it's true. Since 2021, I'm not sure there's been a more universal wrestler than the EST. Which means she's right, she is the best. Number 6, Rey Mysterio. Even though he has been wrestling for what seems like 89 years, the one time I can remember Rey Mysterio getting booed, and that wasn't anything to do with Rey Mysterio. It was that Royal Rumble fiasco where fans expected Daniel Bryan to win, so when Rey was number 30, the disappointment was real. So out of context, it felt like Mysterio was getting it, but nope, it was those behind the scenes. He also appears to be the nicest man ever, but it's his in-ring work that has propelled him to such levels. Mysterio totally rewrote the game and has to be considered the best luchador ever. The man operates in his own stratosphere. His longevity is also outstanding, and we wouldn't have wrestling as we do today without him. Rey is so important it's ridiculous. Maybe that's why everybody loves him. Number 5, Hiroshi Tanahashi. I mean, this ties in, because as I am recording this, yesterday, Hiroshi Tanahashi became president of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean, that's all the evidence you need. It also ties into the past, because when the promotion needed a kick up the rear, who did they go to and ask for help? Well, yes, it was Tanahashi. Shinsuke Nakamura would have to be included in that chat too, but in terms of this list, a lot of people got mad at him for his so-called mid-WWE run. So yeah, he doesn't get to feature. When it does come to the ace though, it has always been pure love, because he's just so damn respected by everybody in the industry. Even during his latter years when his knees gave out, he still figured out a way to put on top quality matches, and that's because he gets it. I mean, let's take something like the Dragon Screw Leg Whip. You know that Tana is going to do it eventually, and then bam, he surprises you by approaching it in a way that nobody even thought of, including him, just popped in his brain. Hiroshi also thinks outside the box, as he showed at Wrestle Kingdom 13. To prove to Kenny Omega he wasn't some old-timer nobody, he busted out a Poison Rana, much to the glee of everybody watching. He is already a legend, but will be lauded further when he does hang up his boots, especially now. I just wish him the best. Just nice to see. Number 4, Ricky Steamboat. So this has been the case for years. There's a reason why people say Ricky Steamboat is the greatest babyface ever. This has only increased over time, and it would have been bigger back in 1989. But Steamboat was facing Ric Flair, who basically was wrestling back then. The shadow was deep. I think the major proof is that when he came back at WrestleMania 25 and started chopping Chris Jericho, it was like we traveled back in time. You wanna know why? Because the Dragon just has these powers where you want him to do well. It's rare for someone to have such a long career and never even be presented with a heel turn idea, but that was the Steamboat situation. The same today too. There are plenty of forum posts discussing this fact, and we all agree that nope, this would have been the worst idea ever. Even when he popped up in AEW in 2023, he demanded that Ricky Starks left him laying. You will never find a more selfless or great wrestler. Number 3, Big E. So maybe someone has said something bad about Big E at some point, but number 1, I would have drowned it out, and number 2, that individual is the worst. Just go and look at the overwhelming desire people had when it seemed possible he could win the world title, and the joy sent his way when he finally grabbed the gold. Didn't even matter WWE treated this in completely the wrong way. The fact Big E had done it is what mattered. He underlined all of this after suffering a possible career-ending neck injury, as he went out of his way to let everybody know it wasn't Ridge Holland's fault, and as his motto goes, he is just the definition of the power of positivity. Big E can also make you laugh in the weirdest way possible, and I really hope he does get to have a massive comeback one day. Health and happiness first, but still, I need it because he deserves it. What a guy. Number 2, Eddie Guerrero. Even when Eddie Guerrero would throw a tantrum backstage, nobody would have a bad word to say. We could literally end the entry there and the point would be proven. It didn't hurt that he was one of the greatest wrestlers ever, but because he had such a way with people, all of his fellow employees admitted they absolutely loved him. This translated in front of the camera too, because seeing the sea of joy when he won the WWE title from Brock Lesnar, well, it's just life-affirming. Guerrero could also do anything within the squared circle, and even when he was playing the bad guy, he was just so damn entertaining. The lie, cheat, and steal gimmick is still rearing its head today as people borrow from its repertoire. Good is good. It's also why there was such an outpouring of sadness when he did tragically pass away, because this love was real. That was 2005 and it still feels raw. There will never be another Eddie Guerrero because it's just not possible. Number 1, Kurt Angle. I mean, it's true. It's true. Sorry. It's even more evident today as everyone involved with the wrestling industry sings his praises, and go and listen to his podcast. That will give you a better idea. Angle is so supportive of modern day wrestling and his influence upon it. The man is a solid dude. When it comes to his in-ring work as well, there is a good chance it may be flawless. You'll be hard pushed to find a bad Kurt match even when he first debuted, and no matter whether you watch WWE or TNA, it is just banger after banger. The fact he was also super entertaining as a character was ridiculous too, and let's face it, Kurt Angle is one of the greatest wrestlers ever. He barely has any negatives. The amount of boxes he ticked have lived long in the memory too, and this is another one. There will never be another like him. He just operated on an entirely different plane. Now please do click the video on the screen, which is 10 times WWE ignored the fans and got it right. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Take care of yourself, my friends, and I'll speak to you again very soon.